This is part 2 of the tutorial on the blues, referring to C-jam blues. In the last tutorial I talked about the basic blues sequence and guide tones to guide you through the harmony. In this tutorial I'm going to teach you the blues scale and some riffs. This will help you improvise over the blues. The blues scale in C is C, E flat, F, F sharp, G, B flat, C. If you play a transposing instrument, you need to see the notes a tone up if you're a B flat instrument, so it would be the blues scale on D, and if you're an E flat instrument, you'd be talking about a blues scale on A. So it's the first of the scale, then the minor third, then you go up a tone, and a semitone, another semitone, a minor third, and then a tone. The blues scale is a very useful scale to compose some riffs, and a riff is a repeated phrase, which is a good way to start improvising. So I've invented some riffs and I'm going to play them and use them for my improvisation. So the first riff that I have composed uses the minor third, the root and the seventh, and it sounds like this. So I'm going to play that over the blues sequence. And obviously it's a bit repetitive, so it's a good way to start, but it's a bit dull if you do that. So you could use that riff to start your improvisation and refer back to it, but you could also play some other notes, maybe from the blues scale. So I use the riff, placing it maybe in different beats, on different beats, and using some other phrases to make it more interesting. Here's a 2-bar riff. So that last one was a 1-bar riff, and I based this one on the tune from C-jam blues. Do you remember the C-jam blues went? So this is a little bit similar. So if I play that with the blues sequence, etc. That's a 2-bar phrase. Another riff is a riff that you have to transpose, and the reason you have to transpose it is because it goes outside of the blues scale. So the riff uses the flat 3, the natural 3, which is the major third, back to the flat 3, and it rocks between those notes, goes to the root and then down to the 7th. So when I move to chord 4, I need to move the riff to the flat 3 of that chord. And when I go to the chord 5, I also need to do it on those notes. So that would sound like this. And again, because it's so repetitive, it's starting to sound a little bit simple, but you get the idea. So if I played that riff but I made it a bit more interesting by varying it a little bit more, either placing it on different beats or sometimes playing it but then making up a phrase to go with it. So I'll show you what I mean. And now it's sounding much more interesting for me as a soloist, and it's given me some ideas to get going. So hopefully that will be a good way to start improvising over the blues.